ready to explore some powerful ideas about our thoughts and reality. We're going way deeper than just, like, repeating a few phrases today.
Deeper.
Yeah, we're diving into Louise Hay's world, a real pioneer in self-help. It's about using your own mind to transform your life.
Louise Hay, huh? She approached this stuff from a really personal place, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Not just some abstract theory. It came from her own journey. Overcoming challenges, discovering her own strength. We're using this YouTube video, Louise Hay. Happiness is all in your mind, and she just lays it all out there.
Okay, so her philosophy starts off pretty bold. She says, anything we say or think, like, it's an affirmation.
Whoa!
Not just those, like, carefully crafted positive statements, right? But every single thought. That's a lot to handle.
It really makes you think about how much we control our thoughts, doesn't it? Like, what's going on in our minds? Because if every thought shapes our reality, what happens to all the negativity we all deal with?
Totally.
Yeah.
The doubts, the fears, all that. So if I'm thinking, I'll never get that promotion, or I'm not good enough, am I, like, making it happen?
It can feel a bit scary, right?
Yeah.
But think of the flip side. If we have that power, then we can choose what to think. Thoughts that are good for us, that lift us up. That's where those positive affirmations, the ones we choose on purpose, come in.
So how does it actually work? Does saying I'm healthy when I'm sick mean I'll magically heal?
It's not exactly magic, the way Louise Hay saw it. Our thoughts create this mental atmosphere, and it's like soil in a garden. If the ground is dry and rocky, your flower won't grow well, will it?
Nope. It needs the right conditions to thrive. Good soil, sunshine, water.
Exactly. Our minds are the same. If it's all negative thoughts, that's what grows. Positive affirmations have a harder time.
So more than just words, it's about the mindset, right?
Right. Louise Hay believed the universe literally responds to our thoughts and words, like giving us what we ask for, good or bad. But even if you don't believe that exactly, it's the same idea. Our dominant thoughts are like a blueprint that affects our choices, our actions, everything.
That's intense. It makes you realize maybe we have more control than we think, even when it doesn't feel like it.
Exactly. And this applies to everything: health, prosperity, creativity, relationships. Louise Hay believed this works for, like, any challenge or desire you have.
So say I'm struggling financially. It's not enough to just say I'm wealthy, right? I have to deal with that poverty thinking we mentioned.
Yeah. What thoughts are making you feel lack in your life? Maybe it's constant worry or focusing on what you don't have. Those are the weeds to clear out before abundance can grow.
So not I can't afford that, but more like I'm attracting abundance or I'm open to new opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Shifting from scarcity to possibility. And for Louise Hay, actions were important too, not just wishing.
Okay, so aligning your actions with those positive intentions, what would that even look like for more abundance?
It depends. Maybe taking a class about money, finding new ways to earn, or even just being more mindful about spending. The point is, those practical steps support the mental shift you're making.
Makes sense. We talked finances, but she applied this to everything. Health, relationships, creativity. Where should we go next?
It's really interesting how she talked about creativity. She believed, like, we're all creative beings.
Even those of us who can't draw or sing.
Yes. Creativity can be so many things, from cooking to gardening to problem solving at work. It's that unique spark you bring no matter what you're doing.
So it's not just those traditional artsy things.
Nope. We all have potential, but it gets stifled, right? As kids, maybe we're told we're not good enough, not talented. Those messages stick around.
So true. Someone once told me I was too tall to dance. Messed with my head for years.
You see, those experiences impact us. But Louise Hay believed you can reclaim that power. It's about believing in yourself, expressing your unique gifts.
How would you use affirmations for that, for unlocking that creativity?
Something simple, like, I am a creative being, or my creativity flows freely. But taking action too, maybe a pottery class, or writing that novel you always wanted to, or just noticing creative impulses in everyday life.
Giving ourselves permission to explore, experiment, no judgment. And sounds like Louise Hay was a great example of this, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk.
Oh, absolutely. Always learning new things, pushing her boundaries. Did you know she learned to dance at 76?
Wow. Really shows she believed it's never too late to embrace your creativity.
She did. Inspiring, right? No matter your age, background, you have that spark.
Okay, so money, creativity. But there's another area we struggle with, relationships. Can affirmations really help with finding love?
Louise Hay believed so, but her approach was specific. A lot of us seek love from a place of, like, neediness, and that can push it away.
So not just chanting, I want a partner over and over.
No, when you're always looking for validation from someone else, it's like saying, I'm not whole without you. Not exactly attractive.
It's about loving yourself first.
Yes, she was all about self-love. When you're happy with yourself, you give off a different energy and that attracts people.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. Always seeking love from others, you'll never have enough to give. But self-love, you become a source of love, and that's magnetic.
What kind of affirmations would build that self-love?
Simple things. I am worthy of love, or I'm lovable as I am. It's about your inherent worth, no matter your relationship status.
The solid foundation of self-love, and
Then be open to meeting people, join things, volunteer, get out there, create opportunities for connection.
inner work and outer action.
Yep. Seems to be a theme with Louise Hay. It's not just the thoughts, but aligning your actions with what you want.
We've talked about money, creativity, relationships, and I have a feeling there's so much more. Overcoming challenges, forgiving yourself and others, and those pesky beliefs holding us back.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
Sounds like we need part 2 of this deep dive.
Welcome back to our Louise Hay deep dive. It's amazing when you really get into it, how connected all her teachings are. We talked about affirmations, positive thinking, all that.
Yeah.
But the core is self-love, accepting yourself. It all kind of flows from there.
That's what's so powerful, right? Not just surface stuff, but really going deep, figuring out why we struggle, then healing those wounds.
Exactly. And her own life, you can see it in action. She didn't just preach the stuff, she lived it. Her story's pretty incredible.
Okay, so more about that. We mentioned her rough childhood earlier, but how did she go from all that, the abuse, to being this successful author helping so many people?
It's a real journey. Like, she talks about this profound self-discovery and healing process, tried different spiritual stuff, read tons of books, really got into personal growth.
So no overnight miracle, more like gradually uncovering her own strength and wisdom.
Exactly. And then she started trying affirmations, choosing positive thoughts, and noticing that, hey, her life started changing to match.
That's the wild part, isn't it? It's like you're rewiring your brain to see the world differently, and then you actually attract different experiences.
That's the idea. And her story shows it. From feeling totally unworthy, she built this amazing career, a fulfilling life, even started Hay House, this huge publishing thing.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
But I bet there were tough times along the way, right?
Yeah.
She talks about forgiveness a lot, and that's got to be hard, especially after going through what she did.
Oh, it's incredibly hard. But she emphasizes forgiving doesn't mean saying what happened was okay. It's about you letting go of that anger, the resentment you carry.
So not, it's fine you hurt me, but more, I'm not letting this poison me anymore.
Exactly. She compares holding on to anger to drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. Doesn't work that way.
Wow, yeah. You just end up hurting yourself more. But if forgiveness is how you let go, how do you actually do it? Especially when someone hasn't even apologized or admitted they did wrong.
Good question. And Louise Hay's got some really insightful stuff on this. She actually suggests starting with yourself.
Forgiving yourself. But why would that be the first step?
Because often we're hardest on ourselves, right? Guilt, shame, regret for past mistakes, all that keeps us from feeling truly happy.
We all have that inner critic that just won't quit sometimes.
Totally. And Louise Hay thought those self-critical thoughts are often echoes of what we heard as kids. You know, not good enough, not smart enough, all that.
So you have to recognize those patterns, those negative beliefs we've soaked up, and start questioning them.
Exactly. And she has specific affirmations for self-forgiveness, like, I forgive myself for past mistakes, or I release all guilt and shame.
Just saying that out loud, it's like giving yourself permission to let go of that baggage and start fresh.
That's the idea. And she believed once you've done that for yourself, it's easier to extend that same compassion to others.
So self-forgiveness is like a foundation for forgiving others.
It can be really helpful because you experience how freeing it is and realize it's not about them, it's about you releasing that emotional burden.
Okay, but what about when you just can't be okay with the person who hurt you? Maybe they're not even in your life anymore. Do you still have to forgive them?
Louise Hay would say yes. But she also knew sometimes forgiveness doesn't look like getting back together. It might mean setting boundaries, ending the relationship, or just letting go of that anger inside you, even if you never see them again.
So it's about what's best for you, regardless of what they do or say.
Exactly. She really stresses forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not them. It's about breaking those chains from the past so you can move forward more joyfully. ending the relationship or just letting go of that anger inside you, even if you never see them again.
So it's about what's best for you, regardless of what they do or say.
Exactly. She really stresses forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not them. It's about breaking those chains from the past so you can move forward more joyfully.
That's beautifully put.
Yeah.
But let's go back to affirmations for a bit. We talked about what they are, how they work, how to use them. But you also had these techniques to make them more effective. That mirror work she mentions, I'm really curious about that.
So that's a fun one, right? Sounds a bit out there, but there's some real psychology to it.
I'm all ears. What's mirror work? And why did she think it was so powerful?
She believed the mirror is like a portal to your subconscious, that deeper part of you. By looking into your own eyes while saying affirmations, you're bypassing your surface doubts and going straight to the core.
So it's like talking directly to the part that holds those deep beliefs, the part that really needs to hear those positive messages.
Exactly. And she pointed out most of us criticize ourselves in the mirror, right? Focusing on flaws, imperfections, all that.
Oh, I know that feeling. Inner critic comes out every time I catch my reflection.
Right. And Louise Hay said those thoughts, they're just echoes of old programming, often from childhood. We absorb those criticisms, then keep repeating them to ourselves.
So mirror work is about breaking that cycle.
Yes. When you choose to speak to yourself with love and acceptance while looking in your eyes, you're basically rewiring your brain to see yourself better.
Confronting those negative beliefs head on, replacing them with self-love and compassion. But isn't it kind of awkward talking to yourself in the mirror?
Can be at first, for sure, but she emphasized that eye contact is key. It's about really acknowledging yourself, accepting yourself, sending love to yourself.
So what does that look like? Like literally saying, I love you to your reflection.
You could. Or maybe I am beautiful inside and out. Or I accept myself unconditionally. Whatever feels right to you and addresses those negative beliefs you're working on.
So affirmations that target your specific self-criticisms. But is there anything else you can do to boost those affirmations besides mirror work?
Louise Hay suggests adding visualization. Imagine yourself living the life you want, feeling those emotions, engage all your senses, make it real in your mind.
Creating a mental movie of your ideal reality.
Exactly. And she also talked about gratitude. Appreciating the good stuff you have, no matter how small, makes your mind more positive, more fertile ground for your affirmations.
Like setting the stage for them to grow by being grateful.
Right. She thought combining affirmations, visualization, and gratitude could really speed things up.
But even with all that, sometimes those negative beliefs are just stubborn, popping back up. It's like they have a mind of their own. How do you deal with those deeply rooted ones that mess things up, even when you're trying to change?
That's where things get really interesting. And that's what we'll explore next time.
Okay, stay tuned for part 3, where we tackle those tough negative beliefs and go even deeper into Louise Hay's empowering approach. Back for more Louise Hay. It's been such a cool journey so far, right?
It has. All these powerful ideas, affirmations, self-love, forgiveness.
Yeah, but today, there's this one thing I really want to dig into. We talk about the good stuff, how affirmations can help us get what we want. But what about when it doesn't seem to work? Those stubborn negative beliefs, they just won't quit, no matter what we do.
Oh, yeah, the saboteurs, those tricky things. She talks about them in the video, how sometimes, even when we're trying to change, there are these deep beliefs blocking our way.
It's like imagine building a house, but the foundation's messed up. It doesn't matter how nice you make it look on the outside.
Or we'd strong her.
Exactly. Not stable. And Louise Hay, she believed those beliefs, the bad ones, they come from when we're kids.
Oh, for sure.
All those messages we get from parents, teachers, whoever.
Shapes how we see ourselves for years.
So even if you're doing the mirror work, saying, I'm confident, I'm worthy.
Part of you's still like, nope, not good enough, or I'll mess this up.
Exactly. And these beliefs, they're so deep, we might not even know they're there.
Hidden, running the show in the background, affect our thoughts, how we feel, what we do.
So how do we deal with them? These hidden saboteurs. How do we break free from that stuff and actually build the life we want?
Louise Hay had this whole approach, like multi-layered. You got to become aware of the belief, challenge it, then swap it out for something better.
Okay, so mental spring cleaning, weeding the garden.
Exactly. Get rid of the stuff that's choking the good stuff.
But step 1, awareness, right?
Yeah.
How do we even know what these beliefs are if they're hiding down there?
She says, pay attention to your thoughts, the ones that keep coming back. What are you saying to yourself? What's holding you back? Maybe it's, I'm not creative, I can't be successful, things like that.
Oh, I do that?
Those are clues pointing to the deeper beliefs that need work.
So become a thought detective. Notice the patterns, the beliefs that aren't helping.
Right. Once you've spotted them, then you challenge them. Louise Hay says, ask yourself, is this even true? Does it help me? Where did this come from?
Putting them on trial, see if they hold up.
Exactly. And often you'll find it's based on old info, a limited view, or just plain fear.
Makes sense. Like maybe as a kid, someone said you're bad at math, and now...
You think you're not a numbers person.
Yeah. But is it true, or just this belief that's been dragging you down?
Powerful how those early experiences stick with us.
They do. But the cool part is, we can choose whether to keep believing those old stories or make new ones that empower us.
Exactly. So you've identified the bad belief, challenged it. Now what? How do you actually replace it with something good?
That's where those affirmations come in again, right?
Yes. By choosing to repeat positive statements, aligning with the beliefs you want, you're rewiring your mind.
Like building new pathways, new habits of thinking, a whole new way of seeing yourself and the world.
Exactly. Not just pushing down the bad thoughts, but actively growing the good ones.
And Louise Hay really believed this whole process, looking at your beliefs, changing them, it's crucial for real change in our lives.
Oh, yeah. Our thoughts create our reality, so change the thoughts.
Change your experience. But one more thing about affirmations. What if I'm saying the words, but I don't feel them? Like my head's saying one thing, but deep down I still believe the opposite.
She knew that was a thing. It's got to be genuine, she said. Saying affirmations with real feeling, belief behind them. If it's just words,
it won't do much.
Nope. Like trying to start a fire with wet wood. You need that spark, that belief, to really get those affirmations going.
So not just memorizing, but feeling the truth of it, embodying it.
Yes. And she even said, add some fun to it. When you're playful, joyful, those affirmations become stronger.
Like putting energy into them, making them magnetic.
Totally. Almost like a game or a creative thing. Instead of a chore, it's something you enjoy.
And I think that's what's so cool about Louise Hay. It's not about forcing ourselves. It's about like gently guiding ourselves back to wholeness.
It's that love, right?
Yeah, you know, as we wrap up this deep dive, it all comes back to that. All her teachings, affirmations, forgiveness, dealing with those limiting beliefs.
Love's the foundation.
Exactly. It's like everything flows from this deep well of self-love.
Right. Love's the strongest force out there, she believed. And when we tap into that, especially love for ourselves,
we can heal, change our lives, make the world better.
And it starts with us, accepting ourselves, flaws and all, forgiving ourselves.
That's where it begins. And then, she'd say, when we love ourselves like that, without conditions.
Wow, it opens up so much. You attract more love, you're more confident, braver, you see everything with more compassion.
Like that self-love spreads outward, touching everything around us.
It's her legacy, you know, love, hope, and believing in our power to create the life we want.
Beautiful. So as we finish up, here's a question for you. What area of your life do you want to try affirmations on? It's about taking those little steps, sticking with it, and believing your thoughts can make a difference.
And be kind to yourself along the way, right? It's a journey all about progress, not perfection.
Thanks for joining us on this Louise Hay deep dive. Keep exploring, keep growing, and trust that inner wisdom of yours.